Hello, my name is Zachary Ritter. This is the 8-question screening and behavioral interview for managerial communications. To begin with, I will start with the screening questions. The first question asked is, why this company? I chose a company called the Carlin Group. My answer to this would be, I am impressed with how many retailers Carlin Group caters to. That include Kroger, Target, Walgreens, are all very successful companies. I have worked at Kroger personally before, and it is a place that runs off of advice and efforts a company like yours give in the form of information. You are in the upper Midwest. I understand the people and the geography there very well. The Carlin Group is passionate about point-of-purchase sales and is known for their long-standing relationships that drive retail execution. Working in the perishable, non-perishable, and non-food divisions of the supermarket, I am very passionate about this work. As a student at Xavier University with a business analytics major, I turn data into usable knowledge for companies. I am excited by the opportunities this position offers and am confident I will perform well as a category analyst if I am offered this position. The second question is, tell me about your education. So I have strong skill sets in business analytics, category management, technology, and software appropriate for this position. In category management, I learned the importance of aligning a store's strategy and tactics for each category. Each category needs to be treated as an individual business unit and modified/innovated when seen fit. I worked extensively inside of Nielsen Answers with panel and scanner data to better understand the product, place, people, and promotions. I have also used my strategic, tactical, and analytical skills in real-world situations. For example, I was given the task of researching the import beer category, specifically Heineken. I dove into the data and saw that import beer overall was doing well compared to a year ago, but Heineken was falling flat. I looked at the KPIs and saw that Mexican imports were doing well. I recommended that Kroger put Tecate on the shelves, and in the spring of 2017, they put 24 packs and 12 packs on the shelf right next to Bud Light. This project showed that I could recognize a pattern, make a recommendation to management, and adjust the category's strategy accordingly. The third question is, tell me about your work experience. So my work experience is highly relevant for a position as a category analyst professional. I can who can work with a plethora of companies. Through my past work experiences, I have shown that I have a strong work ethic, an ability to be cross-trained, and to be an outstanding employee. For the Kroger company, I also was cross-trained in multiple departments. I was Employee of the Month of June and was trusted with managerial tasks on a regular basis. I have gotten strong positive feedback from my boss and was rewarded with the raise. For the Clippard YMCA, I worked for 5 years and was also placed in multiple departments throughout my tenure there. I worked as a wellness counselor, a fitness instructor, a sports referee, and a lead counselor. I was promoted to lead counselor my 3rd year and was given a promotion and trusted with director-level tasks. I showed up to work every day 15 minutes early to go over the day's plans and oversaw discipline of 200 children. I developed strong interpersonal skills with the interactions I had with parents and showed my problem-solving abilities when presented with complicated situations. All right, so the last question for screening is, tell me about a leadership role that you have held. As a lead counselor at the YMCA, during summer camp, I was a role model for the first-year counselors. I'm a big advocate of the lead by example method of leadership. When it was too cold to swim, I would always volunteer to be the one in the pool. When people were exhausted from watching kids all day, I would take the garbage across the field to the dumpster. During sing-along songs when no one wanted to lead, I would get up there and start it off. I noticed as the summer went along, the younger counselors began to follow suit, and it made the summer a more enjoyable experience. This led to better retention rates of counselors for the following year compared to the last couple years. For instance, when I first got there, 8 out of the 35 counselors stayed for the following year. When I was a lead counselor, 20 out of those 35 stayed for the following year. Moving right along to the behavioral-based interview questions. The First question is tell me about a conflict you experienced at work or school and how you remedied it. So the example I will give is I consulted for a company called OPIO, which was a small startup pie business. The situation was sales for the holidays were coming up and we didn't have a brick and mortar store. So one of the owners was cautious about selling pies online outside of their regular selling place, which was Findlay Market on the weekends. So the action I took was I met with the head chef and senior marketing advisor on a weekly basis. I showed the positives and on online ordering and creating a platform for their business. And lastly, I partnered with local businesses to distribute those pies when sales came around. So the goal for that was to increase sales via online ordering. The result given was an increase of 200 pies sold, and a more streamlined process was established. And to thank me for my help, I was given a gift for helping them expand their business with a lovely pie. My second question is, tell me about a time you achieved a goal. The situation here is there was a new airport opening, and I was given the task of predicting airfare prices to be competitive and compared to other airlines. The action given was I first planned my work accordingly and established time frames for when that work had to be completed. Second, I used a number of techniques in the skills section. For example, I ran multiple regression analysis, a decision tree, and neural network analysis. Lastly, I presented data visually appealing via PowerPoint presentation. The result was I achieved a 90% variance explained in my model and praised for my work for using multiple tools and the independent variables to predict the dependent variable. The third question in behavior questions is, tell me about a time you failed to achieve a goal. Okay, so given the task of researching alternative cereal flavors, specifically General Mills, I was presented with ambiguous data to go through. I was asked to meet certain goals in a time frame and was unable to do so. Given the data, I did not feel very confident with the question asked, but I still gave my best answer with the data presented. What I did was, to try and tackle this problem, I talked with senior staff and researched templates that they've used in the past. Second, I practiced and edited at home. And finally, I sorted, recognized the patterns, and presented my findings to management. While I was unable to achieve all of the goals in the time frame given, I was still able to give a solid presentation that was very clear and had handouts with a lot of clarity. The last question is, why should I hire you? So I am confident that my prior work experience, project successes, and technical skills will make me an ideal candidate for this position if offered the job. I have worked in category management, dealt with 8451 programs, Nielsen Answers, and certified in Google Analytics. Also, I have a strong computer knowledge of Windows operating system, SQL, Python, and creating predictive models that can be applied in this job. My interpersonal skills and team player mentality is shown in the projects that I have accomplished, the jobs that I have worked, and the education I have gotten at Xavier University and the Williams College of Business. In short, I meet all of the criteria for this position. And lastly, the question I have to ask the interviewer is, what are the career paths that people in this position typically take? All right, so this finishes up the 8-question interview. Thank you for your time.